The education of leather. The basement smells like bourbon and curiosity tonight. That particular electric charge hanging in air when familiar sanctuary meets unfamiliar faces. Some random retro wave bleeds through speakers while I nurse whiskey that tastes like burnt caramel and oak, watching 7 leather-clad men descend our stairs like they're entering space they've heard about but never seen. Miguel slides another pour across bar. Maker's Mark tonight, the red wax seal catching light like dried blood on glass rim. His voice carries that childlike sultry mix, making everything sound both innocent and intimate. Mom, we got new folks tonight. I see them. The lead figure, massive bear of a man whose leather vest strains across chest thick as tree trunk, surveys room with confident ease that comes from knowing exactly who he is. Behind him, younger man in leather harness bounces slightly on heels with enthusiasm, reading immediately as someone perpetually in motion. A polar bear whose white hair and beard frame weathered face, showing 60-plus years of living. An otter lean man with runner's build examining our pool table with appreciation. 3 others ranging in age and presentation, all wearing leather like second skin. Ezra perks up from beanbag throne, blue hair catching light. Oh shit, bear's inbound. Haven't seen y'all here before. The bear daddy approaches bar where Della's emerged from kitchen, spatula still in hand. His smile transforms entire face from imposing to approachable. 7 whiskeys if you've got them, and hopefully some good conversation. Miguel pours with practiced precision, wedding ring catching light. The bear's eyes track movement, and something warm crosses his weathered face. That's a beautiful ring. 15 years married, Miguel answers, usual warmth returning. To my wife. Congratulations. We just celebrated our 20th anniversary. Well, the founding of our family, technically. The bear extends hand toward Miguel, then me. I'm Mark. This is Sterling, Kai, Jasper, Finn, Xavier, Dominic, and Lou. He pauses, reading the room briefly. Polyamorous family. 7 of us together in various configurations. I catch his hesitation, recognize it immediately as someone testing waters before diving in. My mom instinct kicks in without permission, and you paused because you're used to that requiring extensive explanation or defense. You can breathe here. Polyamory is just another way people build family. Mark's shoulders drop maybe half an inch, tension I didn't consciously register until it released. Thank you. You'd be surprised how often we have to defend our family structure, even in queer spaces. Shouldn't surprise me, but does disappoint me, I say, accepting fresh bourbon from Miguel. He's switched to Basil Hayden, which means he's decided these newcomers deserve the good stuff. People spend so much energy escaping one kind of judgment, then immediately start judging other folks' choices. That's been our experience, Sterling says quietly, his polar bear presence somehow making statement feel weighty rather than casual. Heard this was space where people could breathe without performance. Wanted to see if that extended to our kind of family structure. Only one way to find out, Kira confirms from her usual spot, voice carrying that precision that means she's paying attention. The Stones' Paint It Black kicks in. Appropriate soundtrack for 7 men testing whether sanctuary actually means what it claims. Jasper, the pup, practically vibrates with contained energy beside Kai. His collar gleams under basement lights, attached to leash held loosely in Kai's hand. This place has amazing energy, like completely different from most bars. How so? Layla asks, genuine interest sharpening her voice. She's set phone aside, which means she's actually engaged. Most bars feel performative, Jasper explains, his youthful enthusiasm infectious. Everyone's trying to be seen, to hook up, to prove something. This feels like people are just existing together. That's the goal, I say, watching Mark's face relax further as conversation normalizes. Existing without proving, breathing without permission. Xavier, broad-shouldered black man whose leather pants catch light like polished obsidian, settles onto stool with dancer's grace. So how does this work? Everyone just shows up and hangs out? No cover charge, no expectations? Pretty much, Della answers from kitchen. Show up, be honest, don't be asshole. Those are the rules. Simple, Lou observes. His stocky frame and patches on vest suggest decades of navigating queer spaces. We like simple. Finn's move toward pool table where Renee's racking balls. Mind if I join? Can you actually play, or are you just admiring the table? Renee's voice booms across basement, but there's curiosity rather than challenge in it. Played competitively in college, Finn answers with grin, suggesting he's heard this question before. Happy to prove it. Oh, I like your confidence, Renee declares, tossing him a cue. Let's see what you've got. Mark watches his family member move toward pool table, and something in his expression reads as deeply satisfied, like watching someone you care about finding space to breathe freely. I recognize that look. Wear it myself when watching chosen families settle into sanctuary's rhythms. You've got good mom energy, I tell him, not as criticism but observation. Watching them find comfort here clearly matters to you. His eyes snap to mine, searching for judgment or mockery. Finding neither, he exhales slowly. Is it that obvious? Only to someone else who does the same thing, I answer. Everyone here calls me mom. I'm shit at hiding the protective instinct, so I stopped trying. You've got similar energy, checking that your people are good before you fully settle in yourself. 20 years of building family will do that, he says quietly. When you're responsible for 7 hearts instead of just your own, you develop certain habits. How does polyamory work with 7 people? Brandon asks from corner, notebook already open. His writer's curiosity overriding any judgment. Like, logistically. That's a lot of relationship maintenance. It is, Kai confirms, his hand resting gently on Jasper's collar. We've got different relationship configurations within the family. Some of us are romantically involved, some are platonic but deeply committed, some relationships are sexual, others aren't. Sterling and Mark are primary partners. Jasper and I are in DS relationship, but also connected to others in family. It's complex, but it works because we communicate constantly. Sounds exhausting, Elaine observes, rum Collins halfway to lips. But also kind of beautiful if everyone's actually honest. It's both, Dominic says with slight smile. Exhausting and beautiful. Requires more communication than most people think they're capable of, but the payoff is worth it. Bubba shifts near windows, his mountain of Georgia muscle settling into thoughtful observation. How'd 7 of you find each other? That specific number, specific dynamic. Built over 20 years, Sterling answers. Mark and I met first, started as motorcycle club brothers, became lovers, decided we wanted more expansive family structure. Added folks slowly as we met people whose values aligned, whose capacity for honesty matched ours, who wanted to build something bigger than traditional couple structure allows. And everyone's good with sharing? Chris asks, his Christian certainty warring with genuine curiosity. Like, there's no jealousy? Didn't say that, Mark corrects gently. There's absolutely jealousy sometimes. The difference is we've built framework for processing it through communication instead of letting it become destructive. Jealousy's information about unmet needs or insecurities, not proof that polyamory doesn't work. That's actually brilliant, Phoenix breathes, their street rough voice carrying wonder, treating jealousy as data instead of disaster. It's how we survive, Xavier adds. 7 people means 7 different communication styles, 7 different trauma histories, 7 different ways of expressing love and needing to be loved. We had to develop systems, or we'd have collapsed years ago. I watch Mark watching his family spread through basement. Finn engaged in competitive pool with Renee. Jasper animatedly explaining something to Ezra, Dominic, and Sage, comparing notes about something on napkin. The satisfaction on his face mirrors what I feel watching chosen family find their rhythms. You're doing it again, I tell him quietly. The mom check-in, making sure everyone's comfortable before you let yourself relax. He catches himself, laughs, deep rumbling sound that transforms his bare presence from imposing to warm. Guilty. Hard habit to break when you've spent 2 decades being responsible for everyone's emotional well-being. Not suggesting you break it, I clarify, just recognizing it. I do the same thing. Scan the room constantly, make sure everyone's got what they need, intervene if someone's struggling. Can't help it. It's hardwired now. How many people you mothering here? He asks, genuine interest replacing defensive testing. Core groups may be 15 regulars, but people cycle through. Maybe 30 total who consider this home base. Plus my actual kids, 3 of them, though only one's talking to me currently. Something crosses his face, Recognition, maybe sympathy. Gender stuff? Yeah. Came out as trans 5 years ago. Destroyed my daughter's trust, her sense of who I was. She's working through it, but I stop, realizing I'm oversharing with someone I met 20 minutes ago. But mothering her from distance fucking hurts. Mark finishes quietly. I've got similar situation. Kai's got adult son who doesn't speak to him because of our family structure. Thinks polyamory means his dad's a sex addict or predator. Kid can't reconcile loving father with father who loves multiple people. That's brutal, I say, and mean it. It is. Mark accepts another whiskey from Miguel, but we keep loving them anyway. Keep making space for them to come back if they choose. What else can we do? Exactly that. Keep loving them. Keep making space. Keep hoping. I raise my glass slightly. To complicated families and the people brave enough to keep building them anyway. To complicated families, Mark echoes, and we drink to shared understanding of loving people who might never understand us back. Audio Slaves, Like a Stone, fills space while basement settles into comfortable rhythm. Remy's cigarette dangles as he studies Leather Family with Bayou Sharp assessment. Mon Dieu, 7 people building family together. My mama, she'd have questions about logistics, but she'd respect the commitment. That's what she always said. Love shows in the staying, not just in the saying, yeah? Your mama sounds wise, Sterling says warmly. That's exactly right. Polyamory's not about more sex or less commitment. It's about building family structure that holds everyone's actual needs, instead of forcing people into shapes that don't fit. Can I ask potentially stupid question? Gus ventures from corner, his small-town nervousness warring with genuine curiosity. No stupid questions, Mark assures him, and I notice the gentleness in his voice, the dad energy I recognized earlier turning toward kid who needs guidance. What's on your mind? How do you know if someone's actually good fit for family versus just someone you're attracted to? Like, what's the vetting process? That's excellent question, Kai answers. We've learned the hard way that attraction isn't enough. Someone joining our family needs to mesh with everyone's values, communication styles, capacity for honesty. We usually spend months getting to know someone, seeing how they handle conflict, watching how they treat people who can't offer them anything. Character reveals itself over time. Plus, everyone in family has veto power, Lou adds. If even one person feels uncomfortable about potential new member, we don't proceed. Protecting existing family structure takes precedence over individual attraction. That seems really healthy, actually, Lisa observes, her farm girl pragmatism cutting through any mystique. Most people don't vet partners that thoroughly, even in monogamous relationships. We can't afford not to, Dominic says quietly. Stakes are higher when you're integrating someone into complex existing system. One person with poor boundaries or dishonest communication style can destabilize entire family. Sarah's been observing with her usual stoic intensity. What about hierarchy? You mentioned primary partners. How do you handle everyone feeling valued when there are different relationship tiers? Carefully, Sterling answers. And honestly, Mark and I are primary partners. We've been together longest. We make certain life decisions together. We have specific commitments to each other. But that doesn't mean we love others less or value them less. It means we have different types of relationships with different people, and we're explicit about what each relationship includes and doesn't include. So, like, relationship transparency? Phoenix asks, River's hand finding theirs as they process concept. Exactly, Mark confirms. No one's left wondering where they stand or what they mean to us. Everyone knows what their relationship with each family member looks like, what boundaries exist, what expectations we hold. Ambiguity destroys polyamorous relationships faster than anything else. That's wisdom right there, Della calls from kitchen, emerging with quesadillas that smell like heaven. Most relationship problems come from people not saying what they mean, not meaning what they say. Y'all want food? You don't have to feed us, Xavier protests, but his eyes track the plates hopefully. Got plenty, Della says with characteristic gruffness masking care. No point letting it go to waste. Miguel's already pouring another round. The basement's energy has shifted from curious observation to genuine engagement. Parsons' eye in the sky bleeds through speakers while conversations multiply across the space. I watch Mark relax incrementally as his family finds comfortable spaces in our basement, Finn now playing doubles with Renee against Sarah and Xavier, their laughter suggesting friendly competition. Jasper deep in conversation with Ezra and Phoenix about identity and claiming and belonging. Dominic and Sage exchanging sketches on napkins, different art forms recognizing kinship. Your people are good, I tell Mark quietly. You can stop scanning the room every 30 seconds. He laughs again, that deep rumble. You caught me. Again. Because I do the same thing. Recognize the pattern. I gesture around basement. They're settling in, finding connections. They're good. They are, he agrees, and something in his shoulders finally releases completely. You've built something special here, space where people can actually breathe. We try, I say simply. Some nights it works better than others, but we keep trying. That's all any of us can do. Mark sips his whiskey thoughtfully. Keep trying. Keep building. Keep making space for people to exist without having to defend their existence. Eric, our trans man factory worker, approaches the bar where Mark and I are talking. Can I ask you something? About the masculinity stuff? Of course, Mark says, making space for Eric at bar. I spend all day around men at factory, watching them perform masculinity as dominance, as aggression. But listening to you guys talk about your family, about care and communication and responsibility, it's a completely different approach to being men together. That's intentional, Mark answers. Leather culture attracts men who've examined masculinity critically, who want to perform strength without weaponizing it. We learned early that claiming power over others requires responsibility for their well-being. Can't separate the two without becoming exactly what we're trying not to be. Toxic masculinity versus ethical masculinity, Eric says slowly, processing. One takes without giving. Other recognizes that strength includes care. Yes, Lou confirms, joining conversation. We're not performing masculinity for anyone's approval. We're living it in ways that honor everyone involved, including ourselves. That's what I want, Eric says quietly. To be masculine without being toxic. To be strong without being harmful. Factory makes me feel like those are contradictory goals. They're not, Mark assures him, and the dad energy in his voice makes my chest ache. You just haven't seen enough models for ethical masculinity. Doesn't mean they don't exist. Means you need to expand your reference points beyond factory floor. Is that what your family does? Model different masculinity? We try, Sterling says, joining them. 7 men building family based on care, communication, explicit consent, emotional vulnerability. We're trying to prove you can be masculine and gentle simultaneously. That strength includes tenderness. That power requires responsibility. My mama taught me that, Remy adds, exhaling smoke. She said real men know how to be tender, that men who can't be gentle are just weak men pretending otherwise, yeah? Your mama understood something most men never learn, Mark says warmly. Tenderness is strength, not weakness. Vulnerability is courage, not cowardice. I watch this impromptu gathering of men discussing masculinity while my chosen family observes with interest. Mark catches my eye, and something passes between us, mutual recognition of what we're both trying to do, building spaces where people can examine their socialization and choose different paths forward. You're good at this, I tell him when the group disperses slightly. The mentoring thing. The dad energy without being controlling about it. 20 years of practice, he says, learning to guide without demanding, to offer wisdom without insisting people take it, to make space for people to grow at their own pace. That's exactly what I'm trying to do here, I admit. Building sanctuary where people can figure themselves out without someone else's expectations crushing them. Then we're doing similar work, Mark observes. Different contexts, different structures, same fundamental goal, making space for authenticity. Different aesthetics, compatible values, I agree. Kira's hand finds my shoulder, her usual calibration reminding me I'm disappearing into conversation. I lean into touch briefly before returning attention to Mark. You're welcome back, I tell him. If this space works for your family, doors open, no obligations. We appreciate that, he says genuinely. Finding spaces where polyamorous leather family doesn't require extensive justification. That's rarer than it should be. Shouldn't be rare at all, I counter. Everyone's just trying to build families that actually work for them, instead of families that look right to strangers. Yours works for 7 people. That's impressive as hell. Thank you, Mark says quietly, and I hear the weight in those 2 words. Gratitude for being seen accurately, for not having to defend choices, for family structure being recognized as legitimate without caveat or qualification. Sterling approaches with Jasper still attached to his leash, both radiating contentment. We should head out. Work tomorrow. Thanks for the conversation, Xavier says to the room generally. And the pool games. Finn, you're a shark. Warned you, Finn says with grin. Otter energy's deceptive. You're welcome back any time. Della calls from kitchen. No promises about what you'll find here, but the energy's usually good. We'll keep that in mind, Kai says warmly. Appreciate the space to just exist without explaining ourselves constantly. That's what this place is for, Ezra declares, blue hair catching light. Existing without explanation. Come back whenever. They gather their leather, their dignity worn comfortably. At stairs, Mark pauses, turning back toward me specifically. Thank you. For the mom energy without the judgment. For recognizing what we're building instead of questioning whether we should be building it. That meant something. Thank you for trusting us enough to be honest about your family structure, I counter. For not minimizing it to make us comfortable. That mattered too. Something passes between us. Mutual respect between 2 people who've spent years building families that don't fit conventional molds, who understand viscerally what it costs to keep building anyway, who recognize each other's work even when methods differ dramatically. Take care of your people, I tell him. You too, he answers, and then Leather family ascends stairs, work boots and harnesses disappearing into night while our regulars process evening of genuine connection. Well, Renee says finally, her voice filling basement. That was interesting. Finn kicks ass at pool, their family structure is complex as hell, and I learned some shit about ethical masculinity I didn't know I needed learning. They're solid people, Bubba confirms. Different presentation, but the substance reads authentic. 7 people building family together for 20 years, Miranda muses, her poetic nature finding beauty in complexity. That's commitment more intense than most marriages. It is, Miguel agrees, pouring final round for core group. To commitment. To people brave enough to build families that actually work for them, instead of families that look right to others. To polyamorous leather daddies and basement queers finding common ground, I add, raising plastic cup of bourbon that tastes like connection and respect earned. We drink to lessons learned through honest conversation, to families built through intention rather than convention, to evening that demonstrated how different methods can pursue similar goals. Idol's Rebel Yell plays like closing thought, and I scribble notes because someone needs to remember how we learned tonight that family comes in all configurations, that love doesn't deplete when shared across multiple people, that staying curious about structures we don't immediately understand reveals unexpected wisdom. The basement smells like bourbon and leather oil and possibility. Our regulars settle into usual rhythms while processing evening that expanded their understanding of how people build families that actually sustain them. Mark's face stays with me as I write. That bear dad energy, recognizing similar energy in me. That mutual understanding between 2 people who've built sanctuaries for chosen family, despite world insisting there's only one valid way to structure care. That seems worth documenting, worth remembering, worth honoring when world demands conformity and we keep choosing complexity instead. Love is or it ain't. Thin love ain't love at all. Toni Morrison, from Beloved. Morrison teaches us that love proves itself through substance, not performance, through staying when staying is difficult, through building when building requires work, through choosing people repeatedly instead of just once. Tonight, Mark and his polyamorous leather family demonstrated that thick love sustains 7 people through 20 years because they chose substance over appearance, communication over assumption, explicit care over implicit expectations. Their family structure challenges conventional narratives about love's scarcity, about monogamy as only valid expression of commitment, about how care gets distributed and maintained. But watching Mark's dad energy checking on his people, watching Sterling's elder wisdom guiding younger family members, watching Kai's explicit consent framework protecting Jasper's vulnerability. All of it revealed truth Morrison understood. Love isn't diminished by being shared across multiple hearts if those hearts commit to the work of actually loving each other completely. The Leather family reminded Sanctuary that thick love requires constant tending, regardless of how many people share it. That commitment manifests through showing up honestly rather than performing relationship escalator steps. That family built through intention often sustains better than family inherited through convention. Sometimes the most radical act involves choosing love structures that actually work for specific hearts involved, rather than structures that look right to observers who'll never live inside them. Thin love, love that looks right, that follows scripts, that prioritizes appearance over substance, that ain't love at all. Thick love stays. Thick love builds. Thick love does the exhausting, beautiful work of maintaining care across time and complexity and difference. The daily health habit you'll actually stick with. This time of year, it's so hard to stay in control of your health. Holiday travel and meals, big family gatherings, dark and cold days. It's easy to skip that workout, sleep in later than you should, or have just one more cookie. That's why you need a daily health habit that's easy to stick with. Meet AG1. With just one quick scoop every morning, you'll get over 75 ingredients that help support your immune health, gut health, energy, and close nutrient gaps in your diet. Right now is the best time to get started. With every new subscription, they are giving away $126 in free gifts for the holidays. Give AG1 a try today and take control of your health this holiday season. Give AG1 a try today.